It would have been grand to continue a very H.P. Lovecraft Christmas with a 1975 German, West German, picture titled H.P. Lovecraft, Schatten aus der Zeit, directed by one George Morse, although it does not appear to be available to me with English subtitles, and so would prefer not to commit to an inevitably insufficient summation of the film. I mean, more so than usual with me. So instead we jump to 1979 with Island of the Fishmen, aka Screamers. Screamers was also the title of a so-so Peter Weller starring action sci-fi number from the mid-90s. I prefer the title of Screamers in this case, it sounds cooler. The film was directed by the much better than the usual Italian exploitation kingpin Sergio Martino, a man with more talent than Diodato, Lenzi, and sometimes, considering the resources, Margheriti, but perhaps falls short of Fulci, Argento, and Bava, though the finest, in my opinion, of the three Sergios, the others being Corbucci and Sollima, not including Leone, who is probably better than most filmmakers, Italian or otherwise. A lovely little number, lots of juicy, oozing genre pulp. Those sea devil-looking creatures are the star of the show. The plot revolves around them, and eventually a mad doctor, portrayed by an aging Joseph Cotton. Well, not a mad doctor, a doctor held hostage more so, I guess it's fair to say, which is interesting to see. It's a little mad. Loosely inspired by, though not crediting, Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth, Screamers doesn't nearly retain the horrifying prowess of the text, one of Lovecraft's most impressively chilling ever written. What it does feature is one of the most entertaining some of the most entertaining slop in the history of Italian genre exploitation, sci-fi horror, oozy pulp. There is much to enjoy here, from the Fishmen to the lovely nature photography, shot at least partially on Sardinia, very, very beautiful. The unusual score from Luciano Michelini, some neat set designs on display occasionally, and of course, both Barbara Bach and Beryl Cunningham are both overwhelmingly beautiful ladies. I like to think that Screamers can be summarized by my screen caps, and this is probably true. It isn't a fluidly directed film entirely. It cannot execute the fishmen attacking humans amongst a wider shot, although when it clutters the senses with edits and cuts of close-up fishmen, sea devils, or when they are merely interacting with humans, it is extremely atmospheric and weird in that delightful weird fiction sense. Monsters don't have to look real for me, they just need to look uncanny. That's partly why I don't mind older or practical VFX sometimes, especially when compared with digital CGI. I like the uncanny of it, and it isn't necessarily that it looks more real, it is that it looks more cool, more interesting, more fun. Obviously, it's a film that's based around its kind of island adventure nature photography and the mood which is ultimately downstream of the monsters. You have to tie in the film's affect with how the monsters are handled. And it's either glorious, kind of gooey, oozy pulp, or it's incompetent, sloppy crap. It depends on your perspective entirely, I would imagine. I think it's a lovely little film. Quality number, if you're so inclined. If you're so inclined, you'll probably have a very good time. I think the screen caps ought to speak for themselves here. Yes. Anyway, have a great day, night, wherever you are. Hope everyone is as well as can be. Join us later for the next, rest of the month for more of a very H.P. Lovecraft Christmas.